Hey everybody, it's Saturday, February 6th, 2021. Wanted to get this video out today. In the past few episodes we've been veering off into some different topics, but we do not want the reports that I do specifically on certain topics, like the last one was the student loan debt forgiveness. And before that it was an update on the stimulus check. Before that it was the layoffs at Kroger due to the mandates by the lawmakers there. But we don't want the broader message, the big picture. We don't want the big picture to get distorted here, because the big picture is not very good at all. We're talking about an economic collapse that could happen any time. As soon as this stimulus and support, and as soon as these freebies, these rescue programs are pulled away, you are talking about an absolute economic collapse like the country has never seen. Worse than the financial crisis, 2007, 2008. Worse than the Great Depression. More people now are dependent on handouts and payouts. More so now than in the Great Depression, and more so now than even 12 years ago, the financial crisis. And the dangerous part about this is it's in disguise. Nobody really realizes it, because all the blame was basically put down, or the blame was put on the shutdowns that resulted from the scare, from the illness scare. Right? So this makes it especially dangerous when people have this false sense of security, or this false hope that there's going to be an economic recovery. Right? The economy that we knew of, that we were familiar with, that is gone. That is gone. There's millions of jobs that are never going to come back. And there's people out there that will tell you that you're crazy for thinking that things are not going to go back to normal, right? So you're a doom and gloomer if you think that the economy is not going to fully recover and go back to the way it was, right? They say there's no such thing as permanent job losses. Everything's going to go back to normal. What was shut down can be reopened. Not true at all. You're going to see tens of thousands of commercial properties never get filled back up with businesses again. People that lost their jobs, millions of these people sadly will not go back to work. So today let's talk about some of the scam numbers that are being put out there. And one thing about the scam numbers, most people are just believing it. They're going along with it. People are just acting like everything is going to go back to normal. They believe the unemployment number. People are going out and taking on new mortgages at the peak of the biggest economic bubble of all time. Real estate, stocks, the student loan debt bubble, the bond market, auto loans, all of it. It's all a humongous bubble being propped up by endless money printing, and it's not going to last forever. The correction is going to be historic. Right, and it's only a matter of time. We talked several times about how something always jumps out of the shadows, something always happens, and the narrative will be, oh, nobody saw this coming. This was unexpected. The economy was doing fine until this or that happened, right? Well, we know this or that always is going to happen. It's always going to happen. It's just a matter of when. Okay, most of you know this, but I just have to recap in case there's new viewers that aren't really up to speed on what's really happening here. All right, let's talk about this long-term unemployment close to a Great Recession record. Now, what happens when somebody is long-term unemployed? They're no longer counted in the unemployed numbers. That's why you see the official number keep getting lower and lower and lower. But look at this. Almost 40% of jobless workers are now long-term unemployed. That means over 6 months. And that's nearing the record that we saw following the Great Recession, which was 46%. So even now in this so-called recovery, what many people believe is a recovery, which is not, but what they're calling a recovery, the narrative is that it's a recovery, we're approaching the all-time record for long-term unemployed. And let's look at a chart right here, the same article, CNBC. We see to the far right here, as of January, nearly 40%. And if we go back to the end of the financial crisis, we did see that it peaked up to about 46%. And look, it took us 10 years to basically recover and get back down to where we were before the financial crisis. Right? So how long is it going to take to recover this time? Is it going to be 20 years? Is it going to be 30 years? Is it going to be never? Right, if you look at the chart here, the number's not coming back down. Long-term unemployed is stuck. It's stuck in a dead zone. But yet because all of these millions of people are no longer counted in the official number, they can keep on floating out there the official unemployment number, which we know is flawed and phony and fake. But when I talk to people, they look at me like I'm crazy when I tell them that we're headed into Great Depression 2.0. This is absolute economic collapse. It's being hidden by these fake, phony numbers and money printing to infinity. All right, so here is what hardly anyone is connecting. They're not connecting the dots. And all you have to do is look at a couple different sources of information to see what's really happening. Okay, Yahoo Finance. January jobs report. Economy added 49,000 payrolls as unemployment rate dropped to 6.3%. 49,000 payrolls. Remember that. All right, remember that number. 49,000 for the entire month of January 2021. Now let's look at this. Wall Street Journal. Unemployment claims fell to 779,000 in 1 week. And we've been seeing this for months and months and months, right? Between 700, 900,000, it was over 1 million a week for a while. So connect the dots, right? It's pretty simple. 49,000 jobs added in 1 month, almost 800,000 jobs, new unemployment filings in 1 week, right? This economy is absolutely bleeding jobs. But when you cherry pick the numbers, even an economy that's bleeding jobs can look pretty good when you just look at the unemployment rate, which is, again, it doesn't include these long-term unemployed individuals. But if you ask probably 99% of the general population, they will tell you the economy's improving, it's getting better, unemployment's dropping. They have no idea, they have no clue, right? And all you have to do is connect a couple dots here, just a few mainstream articles, CNBC, Wall Street Journal, Yahoo Finance, and so forth. All right, and what else are the puppet masters doing? Well, they're manipulating prices. They're keeping the bubbles inflated. Home prices rising, stock markets rising. That way they can point to those other indicators, which really shouldn't be indicators. But they're going to point to these markets and say, oh, look, home prices are going up. The stock market's going up. Everybody's rich, right? This, like I said a couple episodes ago, this is an economy built out of Jenga blocks. And the blocks are being pulled out from the bottom, and it's only a matter of time before it's come crashing down. Now, I really don't think we have too much longer. I think everybody needs to prepare, and I would be really careful about taking on any new debt right now, because things may look good on the surface, but underneath, there's a lot of bloodthirsty sharks that are ready to tear you up. And even if you're doing well today, you may not be doing well tomorrow. A job loss can happen anytime. What about all these zombie companies that are only in existence because of the support of the money printers? I think it's about 20% now. 1 in 5 of all businesses, corporations are zombie institutions. All right, what if the banks are ever held accountable for the money that gets loaned out? What if some of this crookedness, what if some of these shenanigans get exposed, kind of like we saw with Robinhood and some other brokers over the past few weeks, right? People are starting to see these things. It's starting to come to the surface. And what's going to happen when more people start waking up, right? When people panic, look out below when people start realizing what's happening, because this whole bubble economy could collapse and bring the house down with it. It's going to be all for this report, everybody. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think down in comments. Right, these jobs numbers, right? 49,000 jobs added in a month, but over 700,000 new unemployment filings every week. Yet the unemployment rate is dropping. Absolutely insane. You can't make this type of stuff up. But this is the type of foolery and this type of just outright lying that most people look at and most people believe. All right, peace, everybody. Stay well, stay safe. Bye for now.